For the past 6 months, I've been documenting my journey on YouTube of overcoming shopping addiction, but I don't know if I've ever really dived into why or how the addiction starts. Sure, I've talked about my childhood upbringing, how we didn't really have a lot of money, and then so when I finally became an adult with an adult income, I could finally buy everything I had always wanted, but that doesn't really explain everyone else's shopping addictions and why it's so prevalent in today's society. I'm not addicted to shopping because I want clutter or I want a lot of stuff in my home. Yes, there are some individual or internal reasons, but there are also a lot of external forces at play here. So how do we even get here today? How do we get to acquiring so many products, to shopping till we drop, to fighting over products in stores? Allow me to give you a brief history of shopping. And don't worry, this will be pretty quick and I think very interesting actually. So if we go all the way back to like the early days of humanity, they didn't really have shopping. They had hunting, they had gathering, very much going out and getting it yourself or making things yourself. Potentially some trading between others in your tribe or your small community. So as the population grew, cities were formed, agriculture became more robust, currencies were created, and people were now selling goods. And the selling was very product focused. So I think the closest thing we have today in America are farmers markets. So people just bring their goods to sell, and it's kind of like a you see what you get sort of thing. So eventually we start to see a split between wealthy people and regular people, or like elite and like the commoners. And products began to not only be collected for survival, but to show status. The wealthy could start to afford non-essential items. I think about in ancient Rome where they had this specific purple dye that was made from sea snails, and only like royalty and the elite were allowed to wear garments dyed in this color. I also think of, the silk from China displaying wealth, and just in general, expensive spices, perfumes, jewelry, clothing showed where you fall on the wealth spectrum. So slowly through the medieval and the Renaissance period, shopping became more and more about appearance and where you stood in the social class. And trends began to emerge and become popular as production increased. Fast forward to the Industrial Revolution. Now we have machines that can make products for us in a quicker and easier fashion. Things are becoming mass produced and costs are being lowered. So now the average person is able to afford more non-essential goods. From then on, department stores were created. So now shopping wasn't just about essential goods versus non-essential goods, but now shopping even more became an experience or even entertainment. And around the same time, advertisements became more and more psychological and emotional. Before, ads were pretty straightforward. They displayed a product and some benefits of the product, why you should buy the product. And then now ads are shifting more toward the consumer, showing how the consumer's life would be impacted or improved, and really playing on the emotional aspect. So becoming more attractive or more successful or more popular. And then we have post-World War II, which was another significant mark in the timeline where we start to see shopping malls being invented and credit cards and overall disposable income increasing. And today we have more products than we could have ever imagined, and takes very little effort relatively to acquire these products. Factories have perfected the speed and efficiency of making products. Production cycles have increased. We have convenience of how to buy products. And of course, social media and the internet, where it's so easy to just put up an ad in front of you. Overall, products are becoming more and more temporary rather than permanent. So back to our main question, why has shopping become so addicting today? Well, it's not just about the stuff. It's not that we have better products or more options available. It's that we're being conditioned to buy more and more, and we have normalized spending a lot of money all of the time. And I'm sure in ancient times, there were plenty of wealthy people that might have had a shopping addiction where they just loved to buy lots of luxury goods and non-essential items, but they didn't have the packed full closets that we have today. They didn't have overflowing storage units full of junk, cabinets and drawers filled with countless products. And I'm just guessing here, but I think you get my point. So a major reason why shopping has become so addicting is that the products that people are overbuying, so luxury goods, apparel, beauty, they have attached those things to their identity. These items communicate something about yourself. And if you don't have it, you are missing something. Even purely functional products now are being marketed as something that's part of your identity or something that you can use to express your personality. No one is addicted to buying toasters. No one was addicted to buying water bottles until they started being something that is linked to your identity or a way to express yourself or even a fashion accessory. They started to become more about appearance rather than function. And also because we have started linking these items to our identity, we start to envision what it would be like to have items that we don't own, and we create fantasy lives for ourselves with these objects in them, and we just keep aspiring to acquire more and to acquire better and keep upgrading in an effort to continuously improve our life. These industries are also playing on our insecurities, fears of aging, unattractiveness, missing out. These things are nothing new. People in ancient times certainly had these fears, but the difference is the evolution, I guess you could call it, of social comparison. Historically, social comparison was really limited to who was around you in your community. Family, your friends, your neighbors, people you worked with, people you saw on the street, the elite members of your community. And now we not only compare ourselves to all of those people physically with us in our community, but with everyone else online. We're comparing ourselves to these curated lives of influencers, of celebrities, and then we're also comparing ourselves to fake faces, fake bodies, all with fake filters on them. We're constantly being told we're not enough or we don't have the right things, and companies know these insecurities and are continuously trying to come up with products to present to us that will promise to fix these insecurities. This is also where novelty comes in. Novelty plays a huge part in our brain's reward system, where novelty or new products coming out was once rare or at least a lot slower to come by. Now we have new things in front of us every minute of every single day. Products are continuously being pumped out with new trends and new must-have limited edition items. Something that is new and attractive releases dopamine in our brains, and we want to continue feeling good, so we want to continue chasing more of it. So we start going through a cycle of buying more things to try to make ourselves happier. And this behavior can even start to become a coping mechanism for when we're feeling bored or sad or stressed, because it's so easily accessible. It takes very little effort to sit on your couch on your phone and click a button and buy something. Which brings me to my final point of why shopping has become so addicting: online shopping and overall convenience. We can practically buy any item from anywhere at any point in time. We have every product we can think of and not think of in the palm of our hand. We don't even have to leave our house anymore for really anything. And obviously there are circumstances where this convenience of grocery delivery or just online shopping is very, very helpful. But we can't ignore the fact that by removing this friction of getting in the car and driving to the store and walking around the store and putting something in our cart and going to checkout and driving home, that whole process, we can't ignore the fact that online shopping in comparison causes us to buy more and more often because it's just so convenient. And then on top of that, we even have the convenience of not even having to use our real money right away. We have credit cards, and we don't even have to hand over the full amount right away either with buy now, pay later. So all in all, if you are struggling with shopping addiction, I don't believe that it's all on you. Of course, there's some element in there of self-control, but there are so many external forces at play that are working against you. I sometimes think about if we were to take someone from 16th, 17th century and plop them right here today with all of the social media, all of the advertisements, all of the products, their head just might explode from all the overwhelm. And we have just come to know this as normal. Well, awareness is the first step. I definitely think that over the past 6 months, even though I've had some hiccups and it's been kind of a roller coaster, I do feel like I have grown so much, and just my eyes have been so opened to just the impact of shopping and over shopping and the impact of ads and social media. And the more I try to work against shopping addiction, the more that the stores I walk into just kind of look like a building full of clothes. I did go shopping kind of recently. A few weeks ago, it was my birthday, and I had a couple, like birthday coupons or whatever. So like, for example, J. Crew, they had like a $15 off birthday gift. And so I went in, I had kind of looked online previously to just check out like, is there anything I might be interested in? So I got some things to try on, and I was trying them on, and I just like was not loving anything. I even like went out in the store for kind of like a second go around to see if there was anything else. I found myself wanting to buy something just to get that $15 savings. And then I was like, no, like I'm not finding anything. And just because I have this doesn't mean I need to use it. And so I just walked away. And I've even been in some stores since, some of my favorite stores, and I have not bought anything because just nothing is really like appealing to me anymore. Like, sure, there'll be something maybe once in a while, but before I felt like so many things were overwhelmingly desirable to me. And now I'm just like not having that. I don't really want to have more stuff in my home. So I hope this video encouraged you to continue seeking a life that's more than just shopping and pursuing a simpler, more peaceful life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.